What is up, Pokemon PMPBeta? It is PuddlesA1 here, and I am bringing you my 5th upload of this channel. Today, guys, I got an Ubers match against the TGS. He's a really good friend of mine and a fellow YouTuber, so please go down in that description and click his link to his channel because he is very undersubbed, and I'm pretty sure he would love a subscription from you guys. But anyway, looking at his team, he's got a rain team. Looking at my team, I have a sun team, so we have the standard Ubers weather war going on. His team is just full of threats and a Ferrothorn, so I really don't need to go over it, but my team has a specially defensive Fortress that has dual spikes, rapid spin, and volt switch. I have an offensive core in the form of Reshiram and Kyurem White. They both have the Stealth Rock weakness, but they do their jobs respectively. They're both modest, and it's because my Reshiram's Tailwind, and it works just like a Tornadus would. But I do have a Choice Scarf Terrakion, a sub Recover Ho-Oh, and then a defensive Groudon with Dragon Tail and Fire Blast. So that's about it for my team, guys. So here we go. My opponent's going to be leading off with the Deoxys attack forms. I decided to lead off with my Fortress. And right off the bat, seeing as how this is the lead Deoxys that I'm seeing, I'm thinking that its set is the lead Deoxys set. So I decided to go for the Volt Switch on the off chance he goes for the Taunt, and that way I can get some Switch initiative and then, do stuff like that. But he actually switches out into his Kyogre, telling me that that is a more offensive Deoxys. And then seeing as how much damage that Volt Switch did, I know that this Kyogre is Choice Scarf because most Kyogres do tend to have max HP investment, and I know Specs ones always have max HP investment. So I Volt Switch out into my Groudon, pull a double switch out into my Ho-Oh, predicting the Ice Beam, but he just goes outright for the Water Spout, which does a little bit more than I thought it would, but that's because he didn't take a lot of damage, so it's still going to do a lot of damage. Now, on this turn, I knew he would switch out, so I went for the Recover, because I didn't want to go for the Substitute in case he brought something in that would outspeed me and take out my sub, so I found it to be a better idea for me to go for the Recover and then go for the Substitute on the switch out, because he's not going to stay in with the Ferrothorn, because he needs to set up rocks, and I assume that now his Ferrothorn does have the rocks. So I do have a sub up when he brings in this Kyogre. I can go for a Brave Bird because judging how much that uninvested, unstab Volt Switch did, I know that a stab and then 64 EV invested Brave Bird will do a lot of damage. I almost take it out, and now I actually have a plan. If I can get up one layer of Toxic Spikes and my Stealth Rock up and get that Kyogre to switch in on something, it will die at the end of the turn and I will win the Weather War. So I decided to put my plan into motion now. I send out my Fortress. I go for the Toxic Spikes knowing that his Deoxys can't do anything to me. And he does switch out and goes into his Kyurem, and he goes for the Freeze Shock here. And if I did not go for the Volt Switch, I would have definitely just switched out and gone into my Ho-Oh, and then something would have had to take a Freeze Shock on the next turn, which would have been terrible. So, luckily for me, I do go for the Volt Switch. I Volt Switch out into my Choice Scarf Terrakion, and I go for the Close Combat. It's Stab. It's super effective. Unfortunately, I do get a critical hit, but I did the calc afterwards, and it was, I believe, a 97.6 to 101% chance I would take it out from full HP. So, that Volt Switch damage might have been, the difference. But anyway, he sends out this Manaphy. I don't want it to have the hydration activate, so its poison goes away. So I send out my Groudon, and he goes for the Calm Mind, I believe predicting my Groudon to come in because he still had the rain up. So seeing as how he had Calm Mind and not Tail Glow, I know that he is more than likely max HP and max speed as opposed to max speed and max special attack. So he's at +2 now, which if I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I'm wrong, cancels out the Sun nerf and then adds as if it were the rain boost. So I'm not sure if that's accurate, but it helps me rationalize how much damage this Surf does to my Ho-Oh because I am max HP, well, almost max HP, I think, and then almost max special defense, I think is how this set is. But that did a lot of damage, and I was not okay with that. But I believe on this turn, I just go for the Recover, predicting him to go out into the Ho-Oh, or predicting him to go out into the Kyogre to take a Brave Bird from my Ho-Oh, which is exactly what happens. And now I'm going to be able to be at full HP while this Kyogre dies at the end of the turn. So my plan to get rid of this Kyogre finally came through, and as long as I send out my Groudon, I win the Weather War. So here, I know I can't do anything to a Giratina because that's like the one thing that my Ho-Oh has a problem with. So I decided to switch out, get my Sun up in the process, and then, win the Weather War from there. Unfortunately, he predicts to switch out, goes for the Dragon Tail, but misses. He goes for the Draco Meteor, which is actually pretty much better because he does a lot more damage to me than he would have with the Dragon Tail. Anyway, I go for a Dragon Tail of my own, phase that thing out, and he goes out into his Manaphy. And now I expect him to want to go for the Ice Beam because the sun is up, but he is going to go for the Surf anyway. I'm not entirely sure if he's not carrying the Ice Beam, if he's carrying some other type of coverage move. I don't know what Manaphy usually do. It's been a long time since I even seen one, so it's been a long time since I even saw one. I can't believe I did that grammatical error. Anyway, he takes out my Groudon, which is not a big deal because now I can go out into my Reshiram, take any hit this guy wants to go for because I know he doesn't have the special attack investment to take me out. So I'm going to go for the Tailwind just so I outspeed the rest of his Pokemon, barring the Giratina O because of Shadow Sneak. So what I decided to do here is go for the Focus Blast and risk the risk the miss because I didn't want to go for Draco Meteor and be at -2 while the Tailwind is still active. I didn't want to go for the Fusion Flare because what if it didn't take it out, and I didn't know if Fusion Flare? Yeah, it is Fusion Flare. And I figured, hey, I might as well go for Focus Blast because if I miss, it's not really going to hurt that much, I guess. But luckily for me, I do connect, and he does die at the end of the turn to Poison, thank God. So he sends out this Giratina O, hits me with that Shadow Sneak, and I miss my Draco Meteor, which is really unfortunate, but it's alright because I still have one more turn before the Tailwind petters out. But he goes for the Draco, he doesn't go for the Draco Meteor, he goes for the Shadow Sneak, gets a crit. I live on 12 HP, which is really lucky, and then I take him out with a Draco Meteor. Had I had Life Orb instead of Leftovers on this set, then I would have been dead by now. But it's a good thing that I put Leftovers on this set because I figured it would work better, you know, with Tailwind. I need to have some type of like a defensive thing going on for me since I'm mostly offensive. So I figured Leftovers would do that. He sends out his Deoxys here, goes for the Dark Pulse, and before anybody's like, oh, Deoxys doesn't get Dark Pulse, it's that new Deoxys move that it gets. I think it gets Dark Pulse and Nasty Plot or something. But anyway, he goes for the Psycho Boost here on my Ho-Oh, and this just shows the massive bulk of Ho-Oh because this is a Deoxys attack using a Stab Psycho Boost, and that's just... I take that really well. I actually expected that to take me out, but it doesn't, which is really nice. The Brave Bird is more than enough to take out that Deoxys attack, and then he's going to send in his last Pokemon, which is the Ferrothorn, and I'm going to take out that Ferrothorn with a Sacred Fire. That's ×4 super effective stab in the sun. Oh, it's beautiful. So that's going to be good game, Rabbid-Chipmunk. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, please feel free to click the link in the description. That will take you to the Rabbid-Chipmunk channel because he is a really awesome guy, and he is completely and utterly undersubbed. I have been with him since he had like 10 subs, and he just recently hit 100. If you want to see his side of this battle here, he did put it up on his channel for the 100 sub special, and he did actually 5-0 me with another Ubers team, so it's a twofer. If you guys want to watch this, go ahead and check his channel out. It should be up. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, subscribe to the Mosh Pit. They allow people like me that are on the YouTubes to get our names out there and have you guys know us more, and then somewhere down the line we'll have a lot of subs, and we like that. We like to entertain. That's what I'm here. I'm here to entertain you guys. I like to play Pokemon. I like to do all this stuff. I'm really glad that PMPBeta is back. It's been gone for a while, and I'm glad I can come back with my 5th upload. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like. If you didn't, please leave a dislike and a comment on what I could do to possibly, help out. Maybe you guys like me next time. I don't know. Just some constructive criticism would be nice. Even if you want to be like, hey, Puddles, you suck. Quit the game. I'll do it. I'll do it if you guys want me to. But I'm done rambling. Thank you guys for watching. Peace, love, and later, Gators.